Good evening. My name is Nkunte, and this is the news report. And we do have a special guest in the building today. We are going to be talking about how to get young people involved in politics and governance. And Mary Mwaba will be joining us. She's a student at UNZA, and she is also the Youth for Parliament Central Command member. Let's get right into some of the stories that we'll look at today. We won't really waste your time as we're excited about this interview that we're going to have. Right off the bat, Rupia Banda did leave the hospital to register as a voter. So that is one of the stories that we're going to be looking at. And also, as far as coronavirus is concerned, you need to know that Zambia has hit 18,000 cases, and you need to protect yourself and protect the people you love. And there is a nice video from the Ministry of Health talking about the same. There was drama in Parliament the other day when the Speaker of the National Assembly kicked out Gary Nkombo for not wearing a suit. So we'll be talking about that story as well. And on the other hand, the story making headlines is that the ministers should pay back the money that they got paid when Parliament was dissolved in 2016. Apparently, Minister of Justice Given Lubinda is saying that he's asking the Concord to give him a bit more time to repay the money. So that is one of the stories that we'll talk about. And last but not least, we're going to be looking at how Zambia fared in the recent COSAFA game against Malawi. So let's jump right in and see how Mr. Banda fared. Now, as you may know, Rupia Banda did reveal last month that he was diagnosed with colon cancer, and it was on the news, and everyone is wishing him a quick recovery and wishing him well. But apparently he's been in hospital receiving treatment, and but he did go to register as a voter today at in Lelai. Now, for those of you young people who are still waiting at home to register as a voter, I think this should be a wake-up call to take voter registration serious, because if the former president, Mr. Rupia Banda, who is sick, can get out of his hospital bed to go and register as a voter, it means that you also need to make sure that you register as a voter by any means. Now, talking about coronavirus, Zambia has hit the big number of 18,000 cases, and the Ministry of Health did reveal this week in the weekly update, and they say that we recorded 362 new cases, bringing the total number to 18,000. Now, one thing you need to note about this number is that these are just cumulative cases. So it's not like the active cases. If we were to break down the numbers, the actual active cases are a bit lower, but that shouldn't comfort you, because we all need to make sure that we are sanitizing our hands, and we all need to make sure that we are wearing our masks. And as we go out to do our business, we all need to make sure that we are social distancing, because coronavirus is not a joke. We do have a video of the Ministry of Health talking about this increase in the number of cases. Please have a look.
For Zambia, since the last update was given, we've recorded a total of 362 COVID-19 new cases, that is in the past 1 week, as compared to 165 new cases the period before that. This is as a result of our increased testing, as I alluded to. What we would want to do as a country is to ensure that testing is readily available at the lowest point. We would want, over time, testing to be sustained even at district level. And we've seen this situation improving. In the last few days, we've been able to activate testing. So
welcome back, and let's go ahead and take a look at what was happening in Parliament. Now, like I said earlier, there was drama in Parliament when Gary Nkombo showed up wearing an official attire. Of course, Tutu Anguluwe did raise the issue to the Speaker, and he said it was improper for Mr. Gary Nkombo to not wear the appropriate attire. Now, in case you're wondering what ministers should wear in Parliament, let me just break it down for you, that if you are an MP and you go to the August House, you need to be clad in a suit. like a pair of long trousers, of course a shirt, a tie, and a jacket. And if you're wearing a safari suit, at least whether it's long sleeve or short sleeve, you need at least to have a tie or a scarf. Now, this is not the first time that Karen Kombo has been in trouble, like in Parliament. Of course, one of the things to note is that he's the opposition MP, so he's bound to ruffle like a few feathers here and there. But I think that as far as protocol is concerned, he should have been wearing a suit. We're going to go on a short break. When we come back, I do have some more interesting stories for you.
I need to secure my business. I need to make investment. How do I do it?
My son is getting older. He will be in secondary school soon. How do I make sure I have enough money for his school fees?
I need to build a house for my children. How do I do it?
The Mpile Unit Trust, managed by African Life Financial Services, an investment product tailored to help you meet your financial goals. We offer different investment vehicles under the Unit Trust to diversify your income and achieve growth on your money. Your future begins by making a decision to invest with us. Fund managers with a track record of over 20 years. Trustworthy, secure, and reliable. For further information on different investment vehicles, call us on 211-254841. Alternatively, you may send an email to mpile@aflife.co.zm. We are located at 74 Independence Avenue, Mpile Office Park.
Welcome back. Let's go ahead and look at the main story that has been making headlines both in the main papers as well as on social media. Now, this is the story about the ministers paying back the money that they were paid as salaries and allowances after Parliament was dissolved in 2016. Now, Justice Minister Given Luwinda is saying that he's asking the Concord for some more time for him to pay back the money he owes. So Mr. Luwinda owes 56,226 kwacha, and he's saying he cannot pay this amount in 30 days because that is the time that the Concord has given all the ministers to pay back the money. Now, what Mr. Luwinda is actually saying is that if he was to pay back this money in the stipulated time, his family is going to starve. Now, one of the things to note about this case too is Chimba Kambwili has come out as well, even though Mr. Kambwili is saying that he's going to pay back the money, even though he says that he blames President Lungu for misleading the ministers because they stayed in Parliament doing their jobs on his instruction. Here is a video of Mr. Kambwili reacting to this story.
The decision by the Constitutional Court yesterday, 7th December 2020, to order the former cabinet ministers, deputy ministers and provincial ministers who remained in office after Parliament was dissolved prior to the 2016 general elections to pay back the salaries they got within 30 days has been received with mixed feelings. while others accept the order by mere fact that the Constitutional Court is the last court. They are wondering where the person who ordered them to stay in office is. In total, 64 former cabinet, deputy and provincial ministers are supposed to pay back the money within the said period. About 4,777,000 kwacha is expected to be paid within 30 days. National Democratic Congress Party President Chishimba Kamwili, who is one of the ministers, says he will pay back the money by virtue of respecting the court.
I am personally going to pay. Suffice to state that it is unfair because no minister remained in office in their own accord. We remained in office because the president directed so. That is why I with the constitution of court. I have a problem with the constitution of court because the president directed ministers to remain in office. And obviously, the president acts on behalf of the state. So it is the state that asks us to remain in office. And the law is very clear. An action taken by the president in his execution of his duty cannot be taken to court. An action of the president in the execution of his duties cannot be litigated upon. And all the 63 ministers did not remain in office in their own accord. There was directive by the president, who was the appointing authority, that you remain in office until the new parliament is elected. But the courts have ruled, whether wrong or right, I have to pay.
And GIA's Initiative Executive Director, McDonald Jipenzi, who has been a committed advocate for the ministers to pay back the money, is happy that finally the ministers will pay back. Mr. Jipenzi says if they refuse to pay, his organization will invoke the constitutional provision which will lead to the arrest of the people who will default.
We are excited with the decision of the Concord that at least we have a time frame. We also have a figure which we are working around for these people to pay, and we know that they are supposed to pay within 30 days, which is very good, because all along it was just pay back, and they were saying we don't know how much. Now they know. So we expect these ministers, 4 months, 7, to pay the money. All right? We have already heard some people saying, no, we will not pay. We don't care about that. We shall invoke the contempt of court provisions. And some of them, they will end up having elections in prison. And we are waiting. We have heard Jit Kapata saying he's not going to pay. He's quoted by the dead nation. We are going to invoke the provisions that are giving us power to cite people contempt of the courts.
Sharon Kalimbola, Camnet News, Lusak.
Yeah, so that's that about Mr. Given Lewin, the Justice Minister, and him asking Concord for some more time to pay back the money that he owes. Of course, the talking point here is him saying that if he pays this money within 30 days, his family is going to starve. Now, going into sports, let's take a look at how our boys fared in their recent COSAFA game at the Under-20 COSAFA tournament in which they played Malawi. Now, Zambia won the game by 2-0, and so far the boys have been doing exceptionally well, and they are going to be playing. They are going to be playing in the AFCON should they qualify. Of course, they will qualify because so far they are some of the leading top scorers in the league. Here is a clip of the highlights of the game against Malawi.
I need to secure my business. I need to make investment. How do I do it?
My son is getting older. He will be in secondary school soon. How do I make sure I have enough money for his school fees?
I need to build a house for my children. How do I do it?
The Mpile Unit Trust, managed by African Life Financial Services, an investment product tailored to help you meet your financial goals. We offer different investment vehicles under the Unit Trust to diversify your income and achieve growth on your money. Your future begins by making a decision to invest with us. Fund managers with a track record of over 20 years. Trustworthy, secure and reliable. For further information on different investment vehicles, call us on 211-254841. Alternatively, you may send an email to mpile@aflife.co.zm. We are located at 74 Independence Avenue, Mpile Office Park.
I have a secret. I like money. I like to make money, to keep money, and to grow money. Join me every week as I have money conversations with some of my favorite money experts.
So I should have my money work for me in a certain way that even if I put a portion of it away, I have some money that is given me.
We talk everything from money mindsets to saving strategies to where to invest your money.
Tell me like 5 things, like quick, that I can invest in with a 500 kwacha.
So you have to then work out what kind of product do I need. And this is where the advice comes in. So you say, what am I trying to achieve? I'm trying to make a 200 pin. How much do I have today? And I've got this, I've got maybe 1,000, I've got a 500 kwacha. what products are available in the market for me to grow my money. And maybe someone would say the stock market can be a channel or vehicle you can use to grow your money.
And then when you do put that value, you now start looking at standing for that value. So if someone says that I'm charging 10,000, they're thinking, oh, 10,000 a lot. No, that's the value. Stand with that value.
Catch me exclusively on live TV.
Welcome back to the show, and we're going to take a look at some of the stories we have seen before we head into the interview. So we saw how Rupiah Banda did leave his hospital bed to go and register as a voter, and we also did look at Zambia hitting 18,000 COVID-19 cases. We did take a look at Gary Nkombo being kicked out of parliament for improper dressing. And the big one, we looked at Given Luvinda begging Concord to give him a bit more time to pay back the money that he owes. So let's jump right into the interview. I do have a special guest in the house. Her name is Mary Mwaba. She is a Youth for Parliament Central Command member, and she's also a student at UNZA. We are going to be looking at how to get young people involved in politics and governance issues. Welcome to the show, Mary.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. So can you maybe like you want to introduce yourself the way that you feel like?
Well, thank you. My name's Mary Chibwemwaba.
Okay.
Yes, so I'm a third-year student at the University of Zambia. I'm pursuing my bachelor's degree in Bachelor of Arts with Education. That's mathematics with civic education.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm a member of the Youth for Parliament Central Command team, and also a co-lead under the project called Girls Gone Political.
Okay. So before we go like any further, how did you get involved in Youth for Parliament?
Oh, wow. Okay, it's quite a long story, but to cut it short, I applied for a program that advertised that was a peer educators program, which they collaborated with the Electoral Commission of Zambia. I applied and I was picked, and we did a training with them. So from there, they gave us a task to say each month you need to conduct at least one activity. You need to spread what you've learned here with other people. So for me, I took it personal. We were a lot, like about 120, but I was amongst the few that decided to take it personal and do it. So whenever I'm in my room, I do it, outside my room, home, and all that. So Youth for Parliament saw my commitments, and the next thing I heard was you are invited for a Youth Debate Zambia, and I was invited there. I was amongst the participants. Okay. And from there, that's how I got fully engaged with Youth for Parliament. And early this year, I think that should be March, I was invited to say, okay, so you've been appointed to be part of our Central Command team.
Okay.
Okay, and that's how I got there.
Okay, wow. Yeah. What a journey it has been for you. Yeah, so like in a nutshell, I know for people who may not know, can you just explain what Youth for Parliament is?
Okay, thank you. So Youth for Parliament is a social movement, a grassroots social movement. This means that we deal with people one-on-one.
Okay.
Yes. So its main aim is to enhance youth participation in politics and governance issues in Zambia. Yeah. So we want to see equal representation of youth in parliament. We need to see youth take up meaningful positions in political parties. Every influential decision-making positions, we want them to be occupied by youth. We need equal representation of youth in those positions.
Okay. So if you were to give me an example of Youth for Parliament's day-to-day like activities or like some of the projects that you have done, what exactly like is it that you do like on any particular project as Youth for Parliament?
Okay, so to mention this, Youth for Parliament was birthed in 2018, so it's still young and growing. From 2018 to now, we've done quite a number of activities, but most activities are centered on enhancing youth abilities. So it's about capacity building. It's about building a network amongst the youth. It's about fighting things that divide us as youth and use them to advantage of us and strengthen our relationships. It doesn't matter which political party, your political affiliation, all we need is that youths come together and fight these struggles, because the challenges we are facing are similar. So why not come together and fight them? So most of the things that we do just address issues that have to do with the young people.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's very profound, seeing that Zambia has a very like youthful population. So I know that we are now like registering as voters, getting ready to vote in next year's general election. Can you tell me what is Youth for Parliament doing to get young people to register as voters?
Okay. So I think from the shirt I'm wearing, it's written "Get Out and Register to Vote."
Yeah.
So we had a project that we called "Get Out" campaign. So we had "Get Out and Participate" campaign, which was in the first phase, where we had to raise awareness amongst the young people to say politics doesn't matter whether you're young or old. At the end of the day, decisions made by politicians will affect each and everyone. So we had to raise awareness amongst the young people to say you need to take up the role as a youth and participate. So that was the Get Out campaign, the first phase, which was Get Out and Participate. Then this year we have the Get Out and Register. So as young people, we want to see young people occupy those meaningful positions. They cannot go there without us registering as voters. So we need to go out there in numbers as young people and register to vote for our fellow young people. So as Youth for Parliament, we've spread out across the country. We've deployed different people in different districts. They are visiting different registration centers. Personally, me and my team were deployed at Unza, and I was helped by other few females, but mostly shockingly, we were all females.
Wow.
Yes. So we were deployed at Unza. We just decided to say it was exam time and people were busy and registration was ongoing. So what are we going to do about it? Let's go and do a door-to-door sensitization. Let's go and tell our fellow students, say you need to register. From there, we had to go and monitor the registration process. It was quite slow and there were only two people there, the police and the person doing the thing. So we're saying, how can you help? So we had to ensure that we make people stand in queues, they have the necessary documents so that when they go there, they don't inconvenience the other person. And also we had to help by telling people to say you can register online before you go and do the actual registration. So in that way, we had to make the process faster. So this was happening in different registration centers by our fellow Youth for Parliament members. Yes. So up to now, we are still doing the voter registration sensitizations. Others are still in Northern Province, others were in Sesheke. If you check out our page, you'll see most of these people, most of the things our people are doing on the ground.
Okay, wow, that's nice, because I mean, I think that ECZ has been, I would say, overwhelmed because they've been doing so much, and it's nice that the Youth for Parliament has stepped up to sensitize young people and to get them to register to vote. Now, like the only bad thing I feel is that you only came with one t-shirt here, because it would have been nice for us in the studio to also have some of the t-shirts that you're wearing, so that you can also go and show the youths that they need to go out and register.
Don't worry, next time I would do so, but it was a short time thing, so we just had to improvise.
No,
Yeah.
okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk about Girls Gone Political, and just to find out whether this is different from Youth for Parliament, or like is it a project under Youth for Parliament. Stay tuned.
I need to secure my business. I need to make investment. How do I do it?
My son is getting older. He will be in secondary school soon. How do I make sure I have enough money for his school fees?
I need to build a house for my children. How do I do it?
The Mpile Unit Trust, managed by African Life Financial Services, an investment product tailored to help you meet your financial goals. We offer different investment vehicles under the Unit Trust to diversify your income and achieve growth on your money. Your future begins by making a decision to invest with us. Fund managers with a track record of over 20 years, trustworthy, secure and reliable. For further information on different investment vehicles, call us on 211-254841. Alternatively, you may send an email to mpile@aflife.co.zm. We are located at 74 Independence Avenue, Mpile Office Park.
My name is Dr. Chinema Lupinda, a registrar of urology from the Levi Mwanawasa University Teaching Hospital. You can catch me on Healthline, a medical talk show specially designed to discuss medical conditions affecting you and the community at large. On this show, we will bring in specialists in various fields of medicine who will be discussing with all these conditions that affect your health. Catch this show every Thursday at 20 hours on Live TV.
Welcome back, and I'm still talking to Mary Chiwe Mwaba from Youth for Parliament, and I was just asking her before the break about how to get young people to register as voters. Mary, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, so now can you tell me about Girls Gone Political? Is it like a part of Youth for Parliament, or like is it a separate project or program altogether?
Okay, so Youth for Parliament is a mother body movement.
Yeah.
Then we had formulated a project under Youth for Parliament called Girls Gone Political. So one would ask to say, why Girls Gone Political under Youth for Parliament?
Exactly.
We discovered that in as much as we are young people and we face similar challenges, and we came up with this social movement to fight those challenges. We as females, to be specific, have got our own types of problems.
Yeah.
Yes. So when it comes to the political arena, our problems as females are quite different from the males. Yes. So how are we going to fight these problems? How are we going to solve these problems?
Yeah.
So we decided to come up with Girls Gone Political.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm glad that you've mentioned that, because one of the questions I have for you here is like how like what are some of the challenges like according to you that you think are like hindering young women from participating in politics and governance issues? I know you mentioned that of course like girls face different sets of problems from their counterparts, but according to you, what do you think stops the girl child or like young women in, like in this case from taking part in politics and governance issues?
Okay, so I will first attack our traditional setup in this country. Mostly as young girls, we're trying to say a place for a woman is the kitchen. Okay, so as we've been growing up, it has been rare that we will see females on the political scene. And if we see any, we hear she's not married. We are going to hear things like she's divorced. So what makes it in that way? Why is it that a man can be married and occupies a political position and he lives in peace? Why can't it be same for a female?
Yeah.
So we've seen that such kinds of problems that are common amongst the females. We talk about the kind of stigma females go through when they want to aspire for political office. A very simple example is from my institution. Simple union campaigns. We have elections for Unzasu. We had 15 contestants who are contesting as president.
Yeah.
We had one female, 14 males. What did they do to a female? They had to paint her picture and put beards and make her picture look like a man.
Wow.
So that simply tells to say this position is specifically for males. That's what they see. When they hear president, they expect a man.
Yeah.
When a female says, I want to contest as a councillor, as a member of parliament, they will first question and say, is she capable of doing it? Is she married? You'll find all sorts of questions that won't be directed to a male who is going to contest for a similar position.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of stigma, that kind of pressure they face, most females are actually demotivated from taking part in politics. Yes, so I think the stigma and the lack of support from the nation at large, from the people around them, not from females now, but from people around them, both males and females, also demotivates young women from aspiring for political office.
Okay. It's good that you've mentioned that, because I think that even in our setup in parliament, you have, first of all, there are very few young people in parliament, and then even of those very few young people, there are even fewer women in parliament. So I think your point does resonate with trying to get more women involved in politics. But then just to take it further, I know we've talked about the challenges that young women face when they want to pursue a career in politics. What do you think is the solution then? How does society welcome the girl child in politics per se?
Okay, it's quite a tough battle, but slowly we'll get there. So I think starting from home setup, if we, the parents, can actually incorporate that aspect of teaching our females about politics, they are going to make that arena friendly for them. So, for example, I have so much courage to involve myself in politics now. It's because of what my father did back then. Among us, his children, I'm the only one, and I'm the last, and I'm the only female one that is active when it comes to politics. So he used to tell me about politics, say, come here, that's Margaret Manakatwe. No, that's Nkanduluo. When you grow up, you need to be like her. You need to be a minister. I would sit down with him, watch the news. He would tell me, okay, who's that minister and what ministries do we have? If you need this, who can you follow? Just like that. I followed his footsteps, and just like that, and I developed interest. So if we begin to talk about politics from our homes, that is going to create a friendly space for our girl children as they grow up. Our education system should also incorporate activities that encourage females to take part in politics actively. When we go to university, we are saying we are the highest learning institution. So if institutions like this can be targeted and work around changing the mindset of our students there to say this is an environment where we should create equal opportunities, be it for a male or a female, that's also going to encourage more females to turn up. Then also encouraging activities and movements like Youth for Parliament within such spaces. So if you see how far Youth for Parliament has gone with regards to UNZA, I saw a lot of females come up even during this voter registration thing. I've been trying to join, but I didn't know such things exist. No, I wanted to do political science, but I didn't know that people were politically active, and you motivated me. So if it has gone that much within this institution, if we spread this in different institutions, in different communities, I believe more females will be motivated and will be encouraged to take up these political positions and participate actively.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Mary, for first of all, like your interest and your active participation, like in active politics at a young level as you are involved, like especially at UNZA, because I know UNZA is a hotbed of politics. I mean, we all see UNZA like rise up whenever there are issues. So it's good that you are at the forefront. We are going to go for a brief break, and when we do come back, I do have another question for you, a last question, and then we'll wrap up the interview. And to our viewers there, stay tuned. We'll be back.
I need to secure my business. I need to make investment. How do I do it?
My son is getting older. He will be in secondary school soon. How do I make sure I have enough money for his school fees?
I need to build a house for my children. How do I do it?
The Mpile Unit Trust, managed by African Life Financial Services, an investment product tailored to help you meet your financial goals. We offer different investment vehicles under the Unit Trust to diversify your income and achieve growth on your money. Your future begins by making a decision to invest with us. Fund managers with a track record of over 20 years. Trustworthy, secure and reliable. For further information on different investment vehicles, call us on 211-254841. Alternatively, you may send an email to mpile@aflife.co.zm. We are located at 74 Independence Avenue, Mpile Office Park.
Welcome back. My name is Nkunte on the news report, and on this segment we do have a special guest that you have been listening to. Her name is Mary Chiwe, and we've been talking about how to get young people involved in politics and governance issues, and she did have some interesting things to say about her experience at UNZA, where she's a student. Now, Mary, welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, to just finish off the interview, I want to ask from you, what do you think government should do, like to get young people involved in politics and governance issues?
Okay, so one thing I'm not really pleased by the government is the issue of using us for statistical purposes. it's written on paper that we want to do this, and this for the youth. We have been doing this, and this for the youth. But initially, when you go on the ground, it's a different story. So first thing I will note is that we have less of our female members of parliament coming out and supporting us, young females that are actually penetrating these political spheres just now. We have rarely seen a member of parliament who's female and say, okay, I'm doing capacity building for this, or I would love to see my fellow girls grow up and become like me and all that. But it's a different case for the male one counterparts, who actually seen say, okay, he's mentoring such people and he's been invited somewhere. Even when invited, it's very easy for them to come through. So I think one of the things they should do in their capacity as government, encourage the female counterparts there to come through for us, because they have been there, they have had their experiences. It is them to tell us, and we're going to learn from their experiences. In that way, whatever they have faced, how they have fought it, we can learn from that. So it's like a ladder. We need somebody to pull us as we are going to that level. Then I also feel the government needs to invest more in activities that will actually make us youth participate actively. Let us not take part in politics through violence. So instead of those selfish leaders that come through for us when they only need us to use our physical power and defend them in the places where they're campaigning, they shouldn't be using us for violence. No, let them come to say no. In Ghana, they want young Zambians to go and represent us on this theme. They come and call us, and not when they say no, there's a opposition party. No, they are this party from this party. Let's go and fight them. No. So they should be mindful of how they engage us, and they should not just use us for statistical purposes. They should be on the ground to involve us. Whatever decision they are making, let them involve us, and not making decisions for ourselves. So if you are out there, a member of parliament, you're in government, don't say you're supporting us and you are leaving us behind. Let us be there to do our own work. If possible, be there to facilitate. Because I believe learning is about people taking part actively. I'm a teacher, so I'll relate this to a classroom situation. You can be there as a teacher talking, and you say, okay, let's go. You're not sure if the pupils have gotten that.
Exactly.
So we encourage that kind of teaching where the pupils are taking part in the process. So we need to be involved in the process. So as government, whatever policies they're putting in place for us, they have to make sure that we are involved in that process. That's the only way they're going to help us. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Mary, for your time. I like the point that you have raised, and for any members of parliament who are listening, any people in government, Mary is saying that our youths should not be used only as statistics, and they should not be used as political cadres when the time comes for them to campaign. This has been the news report, and I was speaking to Mary Chiwe here, who is a Youth for Parliament Central Command member, and she's also a student at UNZA who is actively involved in politics. And recently she did get herself involved with Youth for Parliament in getting young people to register as voters. Until next time, this is Hope Nkunte. Thank you for watching.